what's up everyone? My name is Lungs. Look at my Spartan. So beautiful. Anyways, I got this comment the other day and I thought, you know what, that's fair. I can do that. My settings have changed from my last video, which was forever ago, I think. I don't remember, but yeah, anyways, so I'll show off what I have bound to what buttons, and then I'll kind of explain my reasoning, because I do have a reason for having it bound, how I have it bound. I used to play bumper jumper. I use a different version of bumper jumper now. This is my version of it. Before we get into that though, make sure to leave a like if you enjoy this video, subscribe if you're new here, and yeah, let's get into controller settings. So first things off, hold to crouch. You gotta have it hold to crouch. If you don't, you're gonna have to double click every time to crouch, and it's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. Hold to zoom. I have that on because I use my trigger to zoom. Maintain sprint on. Auto clamber off. I do not like auto clamber. I like being in control of my movement. Step jump on. So for my sense, I have a look acceleration of 2. I used to play on 1. It's a little too slow. Horizontal 4.0, vertical 4.0. I don't need a super fast reticle. It doesn't need to move so quick. I like the fine, slower controls. So for zoom level, these come from 343 to pair your sensitivity. So when you scope in, it's the same as if you weren't scoped in, if that makes sense. This is 1.3, 1.3, 1.3, 1.2, 1.2. 1.2. So for my grenades, I press my right trigger. Sometimes though, you might put a little pressure on it by accident. It happened. I turn my right inner dead zone up to 20. I leave the left inner dead zone at 0. Move thumbstick. But my dead zones, I have them put at 2.5 and 2.5. There's a little bit of stick drift on my control. It's not a lot, so I don't need these super high. My input threshold at 15, so I can strafe back and forth faster. Look, dead zone 2.0. I leave this at 0. If you turn this up, it's going to feel really weird aiming. Sure, you could get used to it, but I just don't like it. Axial dead zone 2.0. So now button mappings and sort of the idea behind it. So I do have back paddles, as you can see here. I totally recommend using back paddles. I don't recommend using a stock controller for Halo. You can even go get that strike pack. Don't use cheats, don't be a bitch. And you know, you can get away with using 2 paddles. Honestly, you could. I use 4, just feels better. So my right hand, my index finger is on the bumper, my middle finger is on the trigger, my ring finger is on the top paddle on the right side, and then my pinky's on the bottom paddle on the right side. And then yeah, obviously my thumb is on the thumbstick. On the left side of my controller, I keep my index finger on the trigger. It doesn't feel comfortable holding it the same grip on the left side, and it's not that hard to just push down and hit the bumper to jump. So, and then my middle finger is on the top left paddle, and then my ring finger is on the bottom left paddle. Jump set to left bumper, so all I gotta do is press it with my left index finger. Crouch and slide is set to left stick, so I'm not using my aiming stick to crouch. I used to. I found that it was throwing my shots off, and I would actually lose more gunfights over it while trying to do crouching and strafes. Little harder to do if you have it bound to the right stick. Sprint set to A. I'll put up on screen where my paddles are mapped, so press this with my left middle finger. Fire weapon is right bumper. There's just something about, even with the grip I use, using the trigger to shoot and then using my right thumb to do micro adjustment. It's just, I can't do it. I used to be able to, then I tried this out and it's just so much better, and I cannot go back to doing it that way. So fire weapon, right bumper. Use equipment on X. I use my left ring finger for equipment. It's all about comfort. Like if you find that you need to swap bottom left paddle with top right paddle and it feels more comfortable, you know, do that. If that's how you're using it, just remap it real quick. My melee button is for right stick in, so I can follow and aim and click in at the same time. Your melee's up close, so you're not really gonna get thrown off trying to melee. Throw a grenade, right trigger. It's like playing claw, but I use my index finger to shoot and then my paddles to do other actions. Reload, vent, and interact I have set to B, which is my top right paddle. And switch weapon and drop weapon, I have it set for Y, which is my bottom right paddle. Zoom, left trigger. You know, my finger sits on the bumper and the trigger, so I can jump and zoom and jump, whatever, at the same time. Zoom level set to A on the same side as if I was zooming in. It just, something about that feels right to me. AI scan down on D-pad. Those are those settings. And then for video, I play on 105 FOV. I feel like anywhere from 105 to 108 FOV is the way to go. I have my resolution scale set all the way down. I don't think your resolution really matters. As long as you're above 720, you're fine. I have my maximum frame rate set to 60. I don't really have a powerful PC. I mean, you can take a look. I've only got 4 gigabytes of VRAM. That's not a lot. So I've got it set to 60 because it does go above 60. It doesn't need to be working harder than it should. And then pretty much all of my graphical settings are set to low, except for simulation quality. That is set to ultra. Just try it out. I'm not gonna say nothing, but let me know how many more gunfights you're winning. Blur 0, screen shake 0, exposure 30, and full screen effects 50%. Honestly, you could have all these turned off. You really don't need it. Speed lines 0, sharpening 100, and I keep pretty much everything turned up. I turn the music down so it's not interfering with any matches. Enemy color, mint, friendly color, sky, and friendly marker color, cerulean. Outline opacity 1.0, outline thickness 0.5. I don't know why that was at 1.0. For my reticle, 1.0 on the outline opacity, 2.0 on the outline thickness. You know, it's just nice being able to see your reticle. Sure, you could drop it to where it's a little more opaque and it's not really in the way during gunfights. I just like to be able to see my reticle. I'm not the best with vision, but those are my settings. Real quick, I want to go over my approach to Last Spartan Standing. The way I treat it, I've got 6 lives. I need to hold on to those as long as I can until the final circle. I've had games and I've posted matches where it gets to the final circle and I've got 1 life, they've got 6 lives, and I drain them of their lives. It can happen, but for the most part, you want to hold on to your lives because when you get to that end zone, it's just you and them. It's a 1v1 for the most part, and you need to just focus on staying alive for the win. Now, if you die, you've still got 5 extra lives. You've got 5 more respawns to get the win. So hold on to your lives as long as you can. Tip number 2 is listen to the gunshots. Listen to where they're coming from, and sometimes the audio in the game is ass. I've had shots that sound like they're right behind me, but then I turn around and now it's the other way. It's the same people shooting. So just pay attention to where those gunshots are. When gunshots happen, people are going to flock to that, and you need to be prepared for that. 2 people are fighting now, but after those gunshots go off, here comes 3, maybe a 4th person, plus you. So that could be up to 5 people around that area at a given time. You need to be aware of this and look out for that. Because what'll happen is, let's say the 2 people are shooting at each other, you get up, you finish both of them off, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna have happen to you what you just did to them. Pay attention, run away if you need to. Don't get like super greedy. It's not worth wasting your life. You need those lives for that final circle. 3rd tip, play to your weapon's strengths and weaknesses. Don't try and cross-map someone with the sidekick. I know I'm being hypocritical here, but sure, you can do it. But all you're gonna do is you're shooting. You can't hear everything around you because you got bullets going off. And if you're taking 10, 12 seconds to kill someone with a sidekick from across the map, you're gonna get 3rd-partied, 4th-partied. Most of the time, it's just not worth it. Play to your gun's strengths. Now, unless you're like super good with the weapon, like, yeah, go ahead. Just be aware, if you're shooting for a really long time, people will notice that and they will capitalize on it. So if you've been shooting 6, 7 seconds, at this point, he's not dead. Be prepared to fight someone because they're coming over. They're gonna come start fighting you too. Back off, reload your gun, get ready to fight. Tip number 4, hold on to your equipment. Sure, popping an overshield mid-gunfight is cheesy, but it guarantees, well, most of the time, will guarantee that you get that kill, and now you can go on, keep going. And now you've got overshield for potentially a 2nd fight, so that's 2 kills, and you wasted 1 overshield. I don't think that's a bad trade-off in my opinion. Same with active camo. When it comes to active camo, it's pretty good. My suggestion is if you see them looking at in your direction, stop moving. Just stop moving for a second, wait for them to turn around, then start following up. What happens when you're moving is the light kind of shimmers on you and everyone can see you. Even though you're invisible, people can still see like an outline of you. Play patiently, especially if you just popped it. It's not worth it. You've got 30 seconds of active camo. Take your time. When kills take just a few seconds to get, for the most part, that 30 seconds, you're fine. And my final tip, be aware of your cover and your surroundings and play with it. You've got a pillar in front of you and you're being chased, start playing Ring Around the Rosie. If need be, bait them to follow you over to it, start reloading, and then just keep going around. Pay attention to the sound. Sound's your best friend. You just keep going around till your shields are recharged, and then boom, get them. Catch them off guard. Don't be afraid to run away in a gunfight. When you're paying attention to your cover, your gunfights will be a lot better because those same things that are cover can also be exit routes. Let's say you go to fight someone, right? You've got shots off on him, and then bam, dude, your shields are knocked like almost instantly. Just be aware of your surroundings, back off, let your shields recharge, and after your shields have recharged, pop back out, try fighting them again, and if you get your shields knocked again, back off, reload, let your shield charge, try again. Don't worry about getting a kill on the first try. It's not always gonna happen. Sometimes players are better than you. It just happens. Sometimes they get lucky too. Be aware of your surroundings because the same things that are cover are also exits. Those are my Halo Infinite settings and some last Spartan standing tips and tricks. If you incorporate these tips into your game, you will see a difference in how you play, especially if you're playing, you get just a couple kills and you lose. Try doing what I'm saying and watch just how many more wins you actually get. My name is Lungs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, aim with your left stick, and I'll see you guys next time.
Respectable firepower. Killing spree. Double kill. Triple kill. Spartans remaining. Plasma grenades acquired. Weapon data stored for closer analysis. Danger zone incoming. 4 Spartans remaining. zone incoming. Must leave this area. You are a true stalker. Showdown. Danger zone incoming. We must flee this zone. Victory.